not less than 30 rounds. Who arms a local vigilante? What takes them now, this too long down, is the military. Even the police, except a specialist unit of the police, like mobile, anti-cultism, or whatever. A vigilante, a local vigilante who cannot combat this hoodlum. Their arms are sophisticated. They bear sophisticated weapons.
Because there are people who think that should work, and there are people who even accuse traditional leaders to say that the traditional institution needs to do more in securing their domain. Do you think that there's anything in particular that traditional leaders, not just yourself now, but every other traditional leader, can do within their domains to ensure security and peace? Are there anything?
Yes. The traditional institutions are government extension to the grassroots. And they should be working with the government. If they have any complaint, they go to the government. Just as I'm telling you, that local vigilante cannot solve the problem. Knowing what the type of arm the boys carry, you can't send a bear, but you crucify him. Send him, it's a death sentence. Asking a man with somebody with bare hand to go and confront a heavily armed hoodlum in that matter, criminal in that matter, who is ready to do anything, who take the life, taking people's life. What feeds them is military, or rather, I call it a coordinated operation, where a specialist unit or the military itself can come. We know their area where they camp.
And
you know where they camp.
So has the police been informed about this? Because the police would say information they don't have. If you're saying that you know the areas where this boy camp and where they operate from,
I wouldn't say police is not aware of where they camp, because it has been happening for a long time. But I detest the idea of patrolling on the roads. And going back to this thing, they better say that the thing has overwhelmed them, that the operation has overwhelmed them. They call in, the military or specialist unit like mobile, anti-cultism, and plan a coordinated operation. Not only patrolling and going back, they should stay within the territory where these criminals are.
All right, Eze, we have a very short commercial coming. We'll go for a very short break, take a commercial. When we come back, we'll also open the phone lines and get responses from the listener. Okay. We'll also take some messages. Some people already sending in messages. I'd remind us, just in case you've not been following the conversation, my guest is Eze Godspower Okolobia Okpagi. Is the Igbu Akoh, second of Ekpeye land, Ahoada East, with us in the studio. If you have questions, we're asking, what suggestions would you give the police and traditional institutions in Ahoada to tackle insecurity in that area? You've heard from the Eze with me in the studio what he thinks should be done. A coordinated approach, a coordinated attack is what is needed from special units of the police or even from the military. Do you agree with that? Well, we'll go for a commercial when we come back. 0809 030 6416 is the WhatsApp number. talk Nigeria info. My guest is a Godspower, Okolobia, Okpagi, is the Igbu Akoh, the second of Ekpeye land, Ahoada East. My name is Ifeyemi Andrew, and I'm sure you have questions, you have contributions to make. What suggestions would you give the police and traditional institutions in Ahoada to help tackle insecurity in that area following the recent developments? Sad news, gang members of the wanted Tubaba had invaded the community and 5 people were killed, and they had said they would come back and do more until their members in police captivity are released. And they also said that those killed were informants to the police. Well, how they arrived at that conclusion would also be some sort of worry for some people. Before we open the phone lines and take your contributions and calls and take your messages on Facebook and WhatsApp, by the way, the WhatsApp number is 0809 030 6416. You can also watch us live in the studio on Facebook at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. Join in on the conversation. Let me get to Eze now. Eze, before we open the phone lines and take questions from WhatsApp and online, tell us, because the concern and worry for many people for this sort of thing to happen is, where was the police and those who were supposed to be in the community, who were at the time after the death of the DPO, the gruesome murder of the DPO? People felt that the police had said it was working, and it was seen that the police was working because some arrests were made. But many thought that we would have had an improved presence of security agents. In fact, we know that in Ahoada we have certain commands and posts in Ahoada town. So what activities from the time the DPO was killed until before now that we had this sad incident, would you say that there's been enough security presence and activity of security personnel?
Yes. There are no security presence, enough security presence in that territory where these hoodlums are. Rather, police have been moving from Ahoada, patrolling from Ahoada to the area. And after patrolling, they come back to a station.
So you don't have them stationed within those communities? No, they are not there living?
That's what we are advocating now. For an entry measure, there should be a police unit. A police unit at Akoh Center. When I mean center that links to from Odemreni to Diomide, Odisama, Odeke, and Ihubogo. A center that links 4 communities. And where these hoodlums live it's not a big distance, it's a long distance from the center. And if police or a specialist police unit like anti-cultism particularly, because that is the area, anti-cultism, they should be up and doing this matter. And a unit of anti-cultism, or call it a detachment of anti-cultism, should be established there. That's why these boys operate like gorillas. They hit and run. The moment they notice that the policemen are not there, the president of police are not, they'll come out to strike their target and run away. And they have informants along the road. Which is
my next question, because they had said that the people killed informants to the police. People would ask, how did they come to know that people in the community informed police? Or even worse would be, these people would need to eat. These hoodlums they use phones. How do they go about all of this in the community? Are they not known? Is it that they don't come out, people don't see? What exactly? And how does it... How?
Very, very unfortunate. Every 12, there must be a Judah. Among the community youths, some of them serve them as informants. That is, if police is coming from Ahoada, the moment they notice police van passing, they will phone them. Police come, police is coming.
How do the people charge their phone when they're in the bush?
It's those boys that charge their phone. Their informants charge their phone. They send food to them. Send drugs. That in their hand. Send food, send in their hand, charge their phone. Their own informant.
So, and their informants are not known in the community?
Now, they are known.
So why?
Now, for fear of being killed because of how porous the area is. Like the issue of Saturday, the case of Saturday, incident of Saturday occurred as a result of the police arresting one of their informants. You see, when police arrest the informant, they say, okay, now those boys they suspect to be the informants of the police, those guiding police must all be killed, must all be terminated. That's how come about the mass killing of this thing. Because that their informant, that is the name is Wana, they call him, was arrested by police, I think on Wednesday or Thursday, I don't know exactly. Now, as soon as that boy was arrested, taken to police, the hoodlums planned the operation, the onslaught of Saturday. So, within the community, they also have their informant. That's why it's difficult to track them, except stationing a police station there, police station, in a close proximity to where they are. Instead of patrolling, and go back to barrack, leaving the place porous and empty. And the moment they notice, they'll be informed that the police have gone. And the moment they notice that police have gone, they will sort out they will measure out to strike on their target.
With the arrival of the new commissioner, has there been efforts by yourself, the traditional leadership, to also get across to the new commissioner and see that some urgent steps are taken, because he might also have to be briefed about what is happening before taking any measures?
Yes.
Has that been done?
Ever before the killing of Akoh, I wrote to the governor, a petition to the governor, explaining the security threats in the area. And the killing of Akoh is an affirmation of my allegations in the petition. My killing of Akoh confirmed all that I raised in my petition, all the points I raised.
If those were raised, if you raised these allegations even before Akoh was killed, why weren't steps taken to prevent that from happening?
So I also wrote to the police. Now, with new development, as you said, I will rightly go to Commissioner of Police and put forward this proposal, because by virtue of my age and position and exposure, I'm in a better position to guide them on how to, to clamp down, to exterminate, to wipe out these hoodlums. One, I'm a trained soldier. Yes.
Which
so
brings
I have
me
the inoculation.
So which brings me to your experience in the army at the time you served. Doesn't that give you some level of connections and doors in the military that could be knocked on, and steps or processes that could be followed to see that we also have some level of military intervention? If you think, because you rightly said, it might require special units in the police or an intervention from the military to tackle this problem.
Yes. Except the military comes in. I agree with you. Except the comes in. The police ordinarily are not trained for war. And without menacing words, the police cannot, except a specialist unit, cannot combat the hoodlums like the type we have at Okolobia right now. They bear sophisticated weapons. I say it, I completely say. You cannot send, like suggested of vigilante, a man without arm or with a knife or whatever, or with a stick, to go and combat somebody with a AK-47 with heavily loaded magazines.
No. Let's open the phone lines and take some responses now. We'll take questions and responses. We have quite a number of them already. On WhatsApp, it is 0809-030-6416. 0809-030-6416. And the numbers to call are 0817-923-0003 and 0817-923-0007. This one says, honestly, the problem is coming from the traditional institutions and the government. I wish Tubaba can be caught alive so he would be asked to reveal some things. Okay. It is a shame To the Nigerian police, the Tubaba and his gang is still walking free and continuing their evil acts in Ekpeye land 2 months after SP Bako was gruesomely murdered. A holistic approach is needed at this point to end insecurity in Ekpeye land. I will advocate a joint security outfit comprising the armed police and OSPAC, a local vigilante group, as a way of ending this. Amagbo sent that message. This person says, if you hear me, the rate of corrupt police in the system is also responsible for the level of insecurity currently. I mean, a matter where police officers refusing to carry out the instructions of his commander, rather consenting to the request of the complainant and their allies. Expect us soon in your studio for more details. Good morning, presenter. In my own opinion, first, the community should be blamed because it took a long time for this to build up to this point and now become a disaster. Secondly, no community should harbor criminals. The community should form a group, a vigilante group. And third, fish out those community informants and give them necessary actions. Jonas, if you listen to Eze had said vigilante groups cannot work because of the kind of weapons these hoodlums work with. This one says, guns have been shared every 4 years by politicians in Ekpeye land. If not, which Ekpeye youth will have almost 1.5 million or so to buy an AK-47? And Eze, quickly, I need you to respond to this before we take a call from Robin and the others. Would you say that there's the role of politics? Because some people have said there's no job, there's no employment. Some people will also say politicians. Some even say that these boys who are perpetrating this act have ties to certain politicians, get contracts for these politicians from them to do jobs and the rest of them. Do you think that all of this could also be contributing to the problem?
No, I disagree with them. That unemployment, is causing the insecurity we have in the area.
What then?
A reasonable youth should, engage itself in one job or the other, one reasonable job or the other. Or learn a trade. Learn a trade. Some people are criminally born, criminally minded from their womb. It's those criminals, who gave the excuse, flimsy excuse of no job. One can employ himself. Can be a farmer, can be a trader, it can be a repairer, motor, motorcycle, bicycle repairer, or decide to be a jobber. Instead of resorting to killing people, your fellow human beings.
What about the aspect of politics?
I don't think that's enough ground. Well, politicians too will do their best in engaging, for the jobless people.
Do you think that politicians are taking advantage of this? Because some people feel that these boys would not have the resources to buy these guns. AK-47s are quite expensive, let alone the ammunition, the cartridges that are needed for to use every single time. It means there must be some people financing, and the idea for many people is that politicians are behind the financing. Do you think politicians have a hand in all of this, or politics has a hand in all of this? Is it possible that politics has a hand?
Because in the past, there was no custody in River State. But then, if they are reasonable enough and they are being used by politicians, like we done the election recently, what happened? They should drop their and be useful to themselves. It's only one is useful to himself,
yes,
that can be useful to his immediate family, that can be useful to the community and the country at large. If you decide to be a criminal, you constitute yourself a public enemy. Like some boys have gone to kill my relations. We know them.
Okay. Let's take a few calls.
Yes.
Well, we would also ask you a few more questions after the calls to wrap up. But let's hear from a few of our listeners. Robin is in a chair. Robin, good morning, and straight to the point, please.
Good morning, Ifemi Andrew.
Go ahead, Robin.
Good morning to His Majesty that is with you. There's a saying by Dino Malai. He made it popular. You say the truth, you die. You lie, you die. So choose. As a son of the land of Ekpeye that I am, I will not say it's shameful, But anyone who thinks he or she is going to live forever, that person is a joker. Every day we die, but God give us grace, those of us that we are able to wake up. So a day will come when one man will going to die. No matter who they are, people are keeping quiet, and we have been shouting. In Uganda, the police station is there. The police officers have been sacked. What has the government done about it? Because I hear your guest is telling us that the chairman of Ahoada is Beneke wanted to cite a police post. What will a police post do to provide security? A police post of less than 10 policemen. What are they going to do? So if unfortunate and lives are being lost, I don't know who's next. They are with me. But if I die speaking my mind.
All right, Robin.
But your Majesty, sir, let me ask you a question now. Before this incident, the governor of Rivers State suspended the Igbu Akoh custody. And you are now telling us you are the Igbu Akoh the second. When did you ascend the throne? Good morning.
All right, Robin, thank you. Eze would respond. Let's just take Zion and Braid first. Zion from GRA, good morning.
Community.
Hello, Zion. Okay, Zion, you might have to call back. Braid is in Oginigba this morning. Hello, Braid, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, everyone.
All right, go ahead, Braid.
Good morning, Majesty. Yeah, my first question is this. His Majesty is also at Ahoada. And since all this while, His Majesty is not as spoken only when the police video was killed and when the chief was also arrested, the Cassidy Ekpeye. And my question to His Majesty, 1980, 90, we were not having all insurgents killing here and there until we get to 2003. Why am I saying that? It's politicians that harm these boys. Now we have two local governments at Ahoada to bring dividends of democracy close to the people. But as His Majesty, is he seeing the dividends of democracy in his local government or at the state? So how was these boys being harmed that they can have 5 magazines in one rifle? How would that be upheld? If there should be military presence at Ahoada, I think for me, they should build military barracks at Ahoada. And mostly where these boys are taken as their camp, those areas should be cut off and made a barrack. I think that will also help to curb this issue. Thank you and God bless.
All right, thank you very much. Let's get on to Mufasa. Mufasa from D-Line. Good morning to you, Mufasa.
Yeah, good morning, Andrew, and quick one. Good morning to the Majesty in the studio. Well, Andrew, you see, I want to say that every crime within the society is homegrown. Now, I'm happy that His Majesty has equally told us that some of these boys, they know them. And one thing I've noticed is that these boys, they get the patronage of the leaders in that their community, even right from the time they started this hooliganism and to this time that they turned a terror to the society. Now, we're equally told that when the DPO was killed, some persons celebrated the death of the DPO. In fact, we're equally told that some persons killed cow and all of that, and some traditional rulers were arrested. Now, as the traditional ruler from that area, His Majesty, sir, are there any measures or punitive measures or punishments that have been, enshrined to dish out to traditional rulers who patronize these boys, keep them in their domain, and use them against perceived opponents? Do you people have anything like a penalty for those people who have all these criminals?
All right, Mufasa.
As a traditional rulers, as traditional rulers from that area. That's my question.
All right, Izzy, we have less than 4 minutes, so if we can wrap up. You saw the questions. What penalties on ground for people who commit these crimes and these sort of activities in the community at the traditional level, as a traditional institution? Are there certain penalties? And also, people questioned when you ascended the throne and how you ascended the throne, and why you're recognized as the Eze of the community at the moment. To be precise, the Eze Igbu Akoh II. So if you can just respond to both those questions before we attempt to wrap up.
Probably they don't understand the background of Igbu Akoh well. Prior to this time, Cassidy purported to have been in control using the two laws. With Cassidy, no offense, no punishment is prescribed for the boys. So, they are seen as public enemy. They are dangerous people because they are armed. The ordinary community man had no gun.
Before now, the lead prime suspect in all of this, Tubaba, was he a law-abiding citizen? Did he have a business? What was he doing before now, or was this how it has always been from time?
Kubaba was a schoolboy. He just left school and joined cultism. He just left school. Kubaba had no hard work. It's not all that educated, but I know he attended secondary school. As soon as he left school, he joined cultism.
Reports that he has certain businesses that he run.
Recently, as a cultist, he was doing dredging out of usurpation of people's, facilities, people's site, people's dredger. I don't know whether you follow what I'm talking about.
Yes.
As a cultist with gun, he would just come to you, give me this, give me that.
And at that point, the community did not tackle the problem?
No community dare say anything. He'll be shot. Let me tell you this thing. Like my experience as Eze Igbu Akoh II.
Unfortunately,
all along,
Eze, unfortunately, time will not allow us. We're already out of time.
Okay.
But thank you very much for being with us. The conversation is live on Facebook. Watch it again. Good morning.
The show continues after this break on Nigeria Info.